Hello, it's Toaster Party, and today I'm talking about the top 5 best standard cards in Innistrad Midnight Hunt Standard. So the format is a little bit less than a month old now, and it's been pretty much solved which decks are the best decks. There's pretty much only 4 real strategies that you can play with some degree of success. There are 2, 3 other fringe ones that might get you somewhere, but it's mostly pretty solved at the moment. And I feel like it's the good time to go over which of the cards that are in the format are kind of defining it. Starting off with number 5, Expressive Iteration. This card is probably one of the most insane value pieces in the format at this moment. It just allows the Izzet decks to be super consistent, whether it be trying to get to massive advantage pieces like Memory Deluge or Unexpected Windfall, or getting them to their win conditions such as Alrund's Epiphany or Goldspan Dragon. Up next we have number 4, that being Lear, Disciple of the Drowned. This card is an amazing card in the Izzet control list, which allows it to handily defeat mono green, mono white, because it turns all of those sort of bad feeling removal spells that they play into really good spells because now you're using them twice. Fading Hope no longer is just a bounce spell for removing stuff like tokens. It now also can bounce creatures more than once and tokens more than once, so it essentially feels like a full 1-for-1 as opposed to feeling like you're going negative on cards. While I think this card is a great card, and it's personally one of my favorite cards in current standard, it's not the best thing you can be doing in Izzet. Though, props to Lear, it's a really cool card. Up next, we have 2 cards sitting in one spot, that being number 3, Ranger Class and Werewolf Pack Leader. It was kind of hard to determine which one of these cards was better than the other, and in the end I couldn't really decide between the two because they are both insanely integral to the mono-green strategy and why it is so good right now. Both of these cards are incredibly valuable in the 2-drop spot, and a lot of games are hinged on whether or not one of these 2 cards comes down on turn 2. Both are incredibly aggressive and produce a lot of value once you get them going, and it's not hard to get them going in mono green right now. And at number 2 we have Goldspan Dragon. In a vacuum, this is probably the strongest card in Standard, but there are 2 things that are kind of controlling the format a little bit better than that. But Goldspan Dragon is an insanely powerful card that, when it enters the field, you have to either kill it immediately or it runs away with a game. And killing it immediately doesn't always work because when you're trying to kill it with a Demon Bolt, they make the treasure, which makes 2 mana, which can then be used to counter the removal spell you're using on it. So basically the only clean way to deal with this card is to counter it. And the deck that it's already in already has a ton of counters usually. And on to the final one. If you hadn't already guessed it, it's Alrund's Epiphany and Eskia's Chariot. It's kind of hard to choose which one of these 2 cards is better because they both have a unique place in the format where they're both holding each other at bay from becoming the best deck in the format. Both are parts of 2-card combos, sort of in the case of Chariot. With Alrund's Epiphany, it's Galvanic Iteration plus Epiphany equals 2 turns, and if you have Hall of the Storm Giants, you're swinging in for 22 damage, which is pretty much always going to win you the game. And with the case of Esika's Chariot, it's not as win the game as Alrund's Epiphany is, but if you get an Esika's Chariot and you have Renin 7 and the token, you're making 2 tokens, which, if an opponent can't deal with the token, then you're pretty much going to win that game. The main difference between Epiphany and Chariot is that Epiphany has the higher ceiling, but Esika's Chariot has a better floor. And determining which of these 2 is better is kind of impossible at the moment, and I think that if one of these two cards was gone, then the other would just dominate the format. It would not be a good format. But that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. Hope you like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you have an excellent day.